Hey, Austin Hanks here with one more video covering your Praxis metrics dashboard. If your business is subscription based, this is a very important video for you as I'm going to be covering the final collection in this dashboard. I'm just going to scroll down until I get there, and it's the subscription section where we're narrowing in on how your subscriptions have been performing historically. I really love this collection as the insights are very clear and the action you could take from here are very impactful for you. So let's dive into these metrics. This first one, we've got our subscription trend. If you want to know how many subscriptions you had active on any given day historically, this is the card that's going to show it to you. But more importantly, looking at it holistically, how are we trending overall in terms of our subscriptions? I'm going to click into full screen mode here so we can play around a little bit more with it. Now, with this client's data, it's really interesting that we, year over year, if we were to just look at period over period numbers, we would see that we're doing very well. As you know, August of this year, we're about 1,000. We're almost double what we were around the same time last year. But what's interesting to note is we're actually on a downward trend, it looks like. We got a lot of new customers at the end of last year, start of this year, peaking out at the start of March. This is some great, amazing growth right here in terms of subscriptions. But then from there, we start to taper off. So with this context, we could start to ask the questions, why? Why did we start to fall off? And that's what some of these other cards are trying to help us understand. So I'm going to just click to the next one over here. This is showing the net subscription change. So this is the same data as the other card, but a little more detail on what's impacting the trends in terms of how many new subscriptions are you starting versus how many are falling off every single day. And we're filtered to the last 3 months by day right now. But again, always check out these date filters to see if there's anything else you want to see here. For example, why don't we look at, let me change it to be the last 12 months here. And I'm going to graph it by month to see if we can see any crazy trends here. All right, so with this data, now we're seeing in any given month how many new subscriptions we brought in versus how many are falling off. And again, we see this pretty big growth in December, January, late last year, start of this year. But with those big growth spike months, we actually see that the cancellation rate started in January as well. So our downward trend, we started to see a lot more cancel in that month. I'm going to go ahead and change it back. Let's zoom in on our more recent data. I'm going to change it back to day, which is what we had by default. Because what we want to do here is try to not only see trends in, why are we seeing this roller coaster of attracting new clients and then losing a bunch. We want to see if there are any individual days that we need to focus in on. For example, we had a really great day, looks like 2 days ago, where we brought in the most clients we've brought in quite a while, 40 new subscriptions just a couple days ago. What did we do to attract that? We can start to evaluate if we ran specific ads or promotions to get people on subscriptions. So that's positive, that's green. What about these negative? What's happening on these spike days here that we're losing clients? Maybe we need to look back and look at some emails that we sent out on any of those given days. What could be contributing to such a large number of people falling off? A lot of great insight we can get here. Now I'm going to go over to the next card. This is one of my favorites in the dashboard. So what this does is it takes all subscriptions that have been canceled in the time range selected. So we can see that there have been 2,000 subscriptions that have canceled in the last 6 months. And then we can evaluate when those subscriptions canceled compared to when they started. So how many days passed from when they got on your subscription to when they fell off. And we want to identify spikes here as well. That's a pretty common thing to see a lot of people cancel on the first days. This is a trend that we see with a lot of our customers' data, just because maybe they're trying to take advantage of a special offer that you only give to subscription clients if they sign up, and then they immediately cancel. So I'm not sure if there's a lot we can do about that, but maybe a little bit more education, a little bit more about helping them see the future of what a subscription can do for them. Lots of things we could think about there, but looking at these spikes that happen down the road as well can be very impactful. So we see that, it seems like starting from day 4, 5, 7, these are our big cancellation days. So leading up to almost the first week of their subscription. Why is that happening? That's the question that should immediately come up when we're looking at this. Why are people canceling more frequently on X number day from when they started? And it very could be that it's because of things that we're doing, right? Maybe, or aren't doing. Maybe we're sending an email that isn't worded, getting them too excited, reminding them about a shipment or a billing, and that is reminding them that they want to go and cancel, right? Or maybe we're not sending enough information to them to get them excited about the product they just purchased, and they've already started to lose interest. And so what can we do to circumvent that? Maybe we can send some more educational content, something that would foster loyalty around this time frame, and put it into a nurturing campaign that we have set up for existing clients. Just start to test these things out to see if we can bring down this average. So we see spikes there. We want to see, well, why at the 2-week point? Or we typically see this at spikes around the 1-month mark, because that's when a typical first reshipment would go out. And so we could start to strategize and have data backing our decisions and our brainstorming sessions onto what sort of things we can do to help people stay on subscriptions longer, so you can get that recurring revenue. Now, the final card in this section is a cohort analysis. So if you remember the LTV section or the retention section that we have, we're grouping the clients based off the cohort of when they first became a customer for you. So in this case, when did they start their subscription? And we could show you the number of subscriptions that you started there, so you can identify some trends here. Big subscription bump in January, came down. Looks like we had a low in May. Maybe that's seasonal. You would know it based off your business. But then we could see how many of those customers are still active today, the total count. And then over time, how many were active at certain periods or certain intervals. So how many were still active after 15 days? With the data we just saw in the cancellation, we see that a lot of cancellations are happening within that first period. And so it looks like we drop about 40%, 30 to 40% of our customers in the first 15 days since they ordered. And looking at this, we were in the 60s, 70s, but recently, in the recent months, we're only seeing about 60, less than 60. Around 50% of our clients are still active after 15 days. So to me, that seems like we're getting a little bit worse at attract or keeping customers even past the 15-day mark. Why is this happening? What have we changed? Or how are we not evolving to get these new customers, keep them attracted even past the 15-day mark? But then we could do the same analysis after 30, 60, 90, all the way up to, we've got 6 months here. We could go out as far as you need to. But we could start to evaluate these trends again. So why was the December cohort the highest retention subscription cohort out of everyone else? Why are we all the way down to 19% from the May cohort? And again, we can start to test things. We know who these people are. We know when they started their subscription. And so maybe we can send some emails to some different types of material or emails to our March or April group to see if we can influence what levers can we pull to get these people more interested in staying on your subscription longer. That's it for this subscription section, and I think we've covered everything in various videos. At Praxis, we're always looking to evolve and add more content to this dashboard and we'd love your feedback. We always love to customize this specific to your business needs. So let us know what else you need to run your business in here. Also, look out for additional metrics that will always be coming to your dashboard. Thanks.